Dear Patriots, before the news starts, please subscribe to our patriotic channel by clicking the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up to this video. Don't forget to leave your opinion below in the comments section. Share the news on Facebook and Twitter so you friends see it. Thank you.
YouTube blocks video of scientist denying being a white supremacist for incitement of hatred. Jordan Peterson is a University of Toronto psychology professor who gained fame through calling out the ridiculousness of the transgender movement. Liberals hate him and constantly call him a white supremacist, which they say about everyone who disagrees with them. In a video, he was asked how it feels to be accused of being a white supremacist. Peterson says that the claim is ridiculous, and explains why he is not a white supremacist, including the fact that he is part Native American. But then Peterson got a message from YouTube that video is being blocked in several countries for incitement of hatred. Saying you aren't a white supremacist is hate speech now. The video has been blocked in Austria, Bulgaria, Switzerland, Czech Republic, Germany, Estonia, France, United Kingdom, French Guiana, Guadeloupe, Croatia, Hungary, Israel, Italy, Lithuania, Latvia, Martinique, New Caledonia, French Polynesia, Poland, St. Pierre, and Miquelon, Reunion, Romania, Slovakia, French Southern Territories, Wallis, and Futuna, and Mayotte. The censors are at it again. No explanation, and no reason, why in the world would this be blocked? Tweeted Peterson after getting the message. Here's some more explanation for the censorship: incitement of hatred, terrorist recruitment, incitement of violence, celebration of terrorism. Even to fall briefly and erroneously into such a category is a chilling event, tweeted Peterson. James Woods calls out the net for lying in story about Huma Abedin. The New York Times published an insanely misleading article about Hillary Clinton and Huma Abedin. This article comes after a recent tweet by President Trump. But luckily, conservative actor James Woods called them out and filled in the blanks of everything the Times conveniently forgot to tell their readers. Crooked Hillary Clinton's top aide, Huma Abedin, has been accused of disregarding basic security protocols. She put classified passwords into the hands of foreign agents. Remember sailors' pictures on submarine? Jail. Deep State Justice Department must finally act? Also on Comey and others, tweeted Trump. The Times called Anthony Weiner, Huma's estranged husband. On Friday, the State Department released about 3,000 of Ms. Abedin's work-related emails. The emails were found on the laptop of Ms. Abedin's now estranged husband, Anthony D. Weiner, and were released as part of a public records request. President Trump made his first Crooked Hillary Twitter post less than 48 hours into the new year on Tuesday, accusing a former Clinton aide of disregarding basic security protocols, and calling his own Justice Department a deep state, writes the New York Times. James Woods came in strong. Only the @ New York Times could publish this story without mentioning that A. Abedin emailed a classified password, B. her husband is in prison, and C. she broke federal espionage laws, he tweeted. Later loser Mitch McConnell just said one thing about Trump that will end his career. It really just blows my mind sometimes, y'all. You think there is nothing else that Mitch McConnell could do to embarrass himself at this point? Not during a break and after the Obamacare repeal disaster. Wrong. McConnell decided to give a speech to a bunch of Kentucky donors where he revealed how he thinks it's actually Trump's fault he failed in Congress. McConnell blamed the Obamacare failure on Trump, expecting Congress to do too much work. Mitch McConnell told the crowd of donors at the Florence Rotary Club in Kentucky. Now our new president has, of course, not been in this line of work before, and I think has excessive expectations about how quickly things happen in the democratic process. And so, Part of the reason I think people feel like we're underperforming is because too many artificial deadlines unrelated to the reality and the complexity of legislature may not have been fully understood. And so what I'm asking of you is to judge this Congress when it finishes. And so, part of the reason I think people feel like we're underperforming is because too many artificial deadlines unrelated to the reality and the complexity of legislature may not have been fully understood. And so what I'm asking of you is to judge this Congress when it finishes. Hey, I'm gonna do Mitch McConnell a big favor right here. Let me tell Congress why people feel like y'all are underperforming. Congress has been so clogged up and ineffective for decades now that America has lost all faith in it as a governing body. That's what really happened. Look, maybe it's time for Mitch to go. What do you all think? He had a good run, but there's got to be someone out there who won't try and claim a big loss is actually a win, but nobody notices it because they are all being too critical. Time to go home. Mitch McConnell doesn't want this interview getting out, it'll ruin him. Senator Mitch McConnell gave a speech at a Rotary Club meeting in Kentucky on Monday where he tried to explain away the legislative Republicans' failures to repeal and replace Obamacare, something they had been promising for 7 years. McConnell's excuse was as pathetic as you would expect. It wasn't the Republicans who failed, it was President Trump for having excessive expectations. In fact, McConnell even said he finds Republican criticism of his failure extremely irritating. His statement reads in full. I'd ask for a show of hands, but I know everybody's saying, been there, haven't done anything, which I find extremely irritating, and I'm going to tell you why. A Congress goes on for 2 years. Part of the reason I think that the storyline is that we haven't done much is because, in part, the president and others have set these early timelines about things need to be done by a certain point. He continues. Our new president, of course, has not been in this line of work before, and I think had excessive expectations about how quickly things happen in the democratic process. What? Since when do you blame someone else when you can't deliver? McConnell is being absolutely ridiculous, and he just proves exactly why we need President Trump. Our president is a businessman. He doesn't like to waste time and money, and he wants to serve the American people. The old way, McConnell's way of doing things, making promises, waiting around, accomplishing nothing, is precisely why we the people hired President Trump to shake things up. The American people have high expectations, and the president wants to fulfill them. McConnell can either accept that or step aside. Either way, it seems that now he understands that the status quo is no good anymore. Share if you're tired of establishment politicians and their lame excuses. These people need start working again. HT The Washington Times. Scarborough claims that Wolf's anti-Trump book feels true, despite reports discrediting it. The new book Fire and Fury, Inside the Trump White House, has come under a lot of attack for saying ridiculous things. The book claims that President Trump didn't actually want to be elected and Melania cried tears of sadness when he won. A lot of what has already been released has been discredited. However, according to MSNBC's Joe Scarborough, he believes it because it feels true. In my conversations with you, in my conversations with people inside the White House, in my conversations with everybody involved, I've got to say this book rings true on just about everything that I read, said Scarborough. All the things Mika and I have known about Trump over the past 10 to 11 years, what we knew over the past 12 to 24 months, what we knew after we stopped talking to him. Again, I haven't read anything in here other than possibly that John Boehner anecdote, that didn't ring true to me. Everything else does, and it follows everything that all of my sources have been telling me for 12 months. What about you? Asked Scarborough. Well, there's so much to say about this effort, and I will not embroider much over what he just said about Michael Wolff, said guest John Heilemann. There will be a lot of discussion over the next week or so about sourcing and methods on this book, and probably a lot of pushback from some number of the people who are quoted on the book about the ways in which their material got presented. I'll leave it at that. I think there's going to be some discussion of it, said Hylemon. Carnage. Hannity just ripped apart Mitch McConnell in this rant going viral. Who out there is sick and tired of Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell? He continuously disrespects our president, the man we, the people, elected to lead our great country. Well, we aren't the only ones. Sean Hannity has proven his loyalty to President Trump time and again. Tuesday, Hannity exhibited his full support again. He had just said he intended to stop all petty political disagreements for 12 hours due to the seriousness of the North Korea situation. He invited others to do the same. He wasn't able to make it the full 12 hours, though. And who can blame him? According to ABC News, McConnell had just said it was extremely irritating that Congress has the reputation of not accomplishing anything. And he blamed it on Trump. Well, I couldn't have said it better myself. The gall of Senator McConnell, blaming President Trump for Congress failures. It's really pretty disgusting. He actually lied that Trump had excessive expectations for Congress. What? How dare anyone expect that they actually get something done? Wow. Just wow. If you agree with Hannity and think that it's time for McConnell, and others like him, need to go, comment, vote them out and share. The Hill.